Hi friends, this is Wassima. I hope all is doing well for you. I am in the forest, at the entrance of the forest, Monsanto. It's a strange name for a forest. And reminds me of Monsanto and the big war that people started with this company regarding the chemical products they use to kill life, kill plants. So I wanted to share with you some thoughts I had this morning about, I have been talking about this anger I have been feeling towards what we do to nature, how we live with it, how we act with it. And it has been interesting because when I felt this anger, I didn't know how to transmute it. My usual tools of transmutation didn't work, and I still have felt that anger inside of me. And I thought about it, I meditated about it, and the answers I got is that this anger is an expression of my love towards nature. This is the first thing. It's more about loving nature than judging what we are doing with it, and and judging our ignorance, even if, of course, that exists. But it's more about love. The center of this anger is love. I want to protect nature. I want to higher my own consciousness before talking about others, about how I use this link I have, how I am connected to nature. Nature is everywhere, even in our houses. Our furnitures are made from wood. All the things we use in our daily life come from nature. Of course, they have been changed by a process that is not quite beneficial for all the parts. So this transformation brings with it a lot of pollution and a lot of ignorance again. But nature is present everywhere. So there is this definition of what is nature also that came through these thoughts. What is nature? Is nature just the forests? Is it just the trees we encounter in our streets? Is it the plants we grow? Is it regarding farms? So what is nature? And this is a quite interesting question because we tend to separate, like with our thoughts. This is something really I'm really meditating about, especially this morning. It has been a big thing. Separation is our basic tool to live in this earth as a human. Separation, segregation, putting things into boxes. And of course, we have created computers that work the same way. For example, we put the dishes in a different place than our clothes. Our room, the bedroom where we sleep is in a different place from the kitchen. So everything in our lives, in our houses, in our work is separated, is different, is put into boxes, so it can be easy for us to deal with, to work with, to handle. Because if we put everything at the same time, it can be overwhelming and we would be lost. So this is like a basic need of the human to organize. We call that organization also. To separate, organize, etc. But this separation, this logic of organization and segregation, I don't know if segregation is a good term. I'm sorry about that because English is not really my first language. So this separation logic didn't stop at work or at home. It included everything. For example, if you take a plant and let's say dandelion, if you take this plant, this flower, you will probably separate it as a plant that is used for to help with relaxation, to help with digestion, etc. So a plant, we desiccate it, we separate it into flower, leaf, roots. We separate the plant and we separate its powers into, okay, this nutriment, this vitamin, this vitamins, nutriments are separated, and it's helpful for that, it's helpful for this sickness, etc. So plants are separated, are like a whole. The plant as a whole is ignored, but its parts, its different parts are recognized, which is really interesting. We do the same thing with trees. Behind me, we separate the trees into leaves, and we use the some parts of the tree for furniture, for this medication, for this component is for medication, this component is for this, etc. So we have this logic of separating a whole being into different parts, that it loses its spirit, or it loses its meaning as a whole, as oneness. And we do that with humans also. We separate humans into, for example, practitioners separated, especially in the medical field. We have people that specialize in neurons, in stomach, in brains, and even in the brains there are different parts. People that are specialists on the throat, thyroid. So people are separated. I understand that, because there are a lot of knowledge in every part. There are a lot to learn, and just one life is not enough to bring all that knowledge again into our conscious field. I'm saying that because I believe all the knowledge is already inside of us. But this logic of separating makes us losing the meaning of our all being. We ignore the effect, for example, of, if I talk about thyroid, we forget the impact of thyroid over the rest of the body, and also how the rest of the body impacts the thyroid. So everything becomes mechanical, technical, while everything has a spirit as a whole. Like if someone separates my heart, or let's say my liver, from me, Ouassima, it doesn't mean that my liver will constitute my whole being, because I am bigger and wider than just my liver. I don't know if I'm making my point here. The thing is that really we need to get back to that oneness in our vision about the world. I'm staying here, and the wind is touching, speaking. And the wind depends on many other elements. And when we call something by a name, like wind, tree, plant, Ouassima, you, we separate. So names, instead of being empowering, reminders of our origins and of our purposes, became a tool of separation. And not only names, also origins. Where are you born? Where do you come from? what is your culture, what is your religion, what is your spirituality, etc. So all this helped this logic of separation and identification. It helps to identify but also to separate from us, because all belongs to us, all is inside of us. These trees, I belong to them and they belong to me. Plants belong to us and we belong to them. Mother Earth, we are Earth. Our bones, my hand is Mother Earth. These glasses are Mother Earth. Everything in me, in this plane, physical plane, is Mother Earth. And I am a spirit embodied in this Mother Earth. And when we higher our consciousness, we are all one spirit, in a way. So so I wanted to share with this with you about the logic of separation and organization and its impact on our lives. And I might speak again about that because I feel there are many things still that need to be said. Are you listening? Alright, so see you soon. Bye-bye.